what is happening at Williams Racing. Now, obviously, FX and Josh Capito both left Williams. It is being rumored that Darlington Capital is trying to sell the team now, and they're not willing to inject cash anymore into the team, which might have been the reason why FX and Josh left. Josh left Williams after a 2 year stint. Now they didn't really have a successful campaign this year from a technical perspective either, uh, which might also which told me that okay, that Dolan Capital might have pulled the cash then,
Yep.
seeing that even this like new recruitment is not. But I'm not sure. It might be a range of those factors or everything happening all at once. Just the perfect storm for Darlington to think, okay, this isn't going anywhere at all. But where do you think this is headed? Because what I would have imagined is if Darlington Capital is looking to sell, it it should be an easier sale given that there are multiple organizations looking to purchase a Formula One team. Number one is obviously Porsche. Now I can understand if the Williams facility is not the best in Formula One at the moment, but it is a start. And secondly,
Andretti.
Andretti
Yep.
Global. So I'm surprised that none like London Capital wanting to sell have not coincided with the rumors of these two organizations trying to buy the team off. So what do you think is happening there, and what more can we speculate?
Yeah, it's all speculation because like in the articles circulating there are two sort of explanations for it. It's either Darlington are trying to exit and Jost and FX left before them, and the second one is Darlington wanted Jost and FX to leave because they didn't have trust in them. So these are the two variables going around. But yeah, I think if Darlington pulled cash, if they are no longer happy with the returns or whatever, and if they are willing to sell, Formula One is a very hot property right now. There might be many different or like people willing to buy it, but I don't think Porsche or Andretti will go for Williams right now. Andretti will go for Williams right now. See, yeah,
What
because
makes you say that?
Porsche, the only reason Dorrington went for Williams, like not the only reason, but Dorrington went to
One of
because
the
they are investors. They are not racers themselves, right? They are investors. So it was a good place for them. Williams, highly marketable entity, Formula One highly marketable entity, and all those things. Now Porsche, I think Porsche already said that they don't want a very heavy investment. They just wanted a partnership with Red Bull and a slightly higher stake in that or something like that. But like unlike Audi wanted a full race team. Porsche didn't want a full race team as such, right? And
yeah, they wanted to be the engine suppliers, but also have a controlling stake in the team and not do the
yeah,
chassis
exactly,
side of
something like
things. I
that.
guess is the way
And
to put it.
so I don't think like Porsche's where Porsche are right now. I don't think Williams is a good buy for them. And secondly, for Andretti, if Andretti comes in, it all becomes a game of will the Williams name stay on, right? Which is again like subjective thing to do, but yeah,
But here's the question. Here's the question, right? If if Williams, I mean, you have to ask this question, right? If Williams is not a great investment for Porsche, what made Sauber a great investment for Audi? Because it's not like Sauber. Yes, Sauber is in a much better place than Williams, but it's not like it's a championship contender anytime soon. Even from a chassis perspective, right? It's got the second best. It's got one of the best engines on the grid. Most engines except the Alpine engines are on par, right? So it's basically got the best engine on the grid. Yes, a little bit under on the grid. Yes, a little bit unreliable, but it's still not up there with McLaren and Alpine in terms of competitiveness. At least after the first few races, right? So what makes Sauber a great purchase for Audi or a great partnership for Audi, and what makes Williams less so? Because technically, Porsche could own the whole team, controlling stake, have the same, talent pool and everything, have the same employees, and just install someone, which Williams will have to do anyway, in order to head that chassis group, right? And they could acquire Williams for less than I'm guessing $200 million or pounds. I think Darlington acquired it for $150 million or pounds. I'm not sure which currency it was, but the figure was around there, right? So it is still like financially, it is still less of an investment from what they would have to give Red Bull in order to acquire 50%, 51% of the controlling stake in that company.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So, which is why I'm saying it is weird that the talk of Darlington wanting to sell the team, and the lack of talk or speculation about these two entities wanting to buy Williams, and there's something going on there which is not adding
Yep.
up.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what state exactly Williams team is in, which might make it less attractive to these entities. But again, I think there's something going on there. And as far as I feel, the name of the Williams, like the
name,
Williams
yep.
family is there. I'm not sure how inclined Darlington Capital is or will be to that name
In
in
the
Formula
future,
One
yeah,
at a
yeah.
loss to themselves. At a loss to themselves, given that they're basically an investment group, right? So I don't know if there was something in the clause that they signed when they took over the team from the Williams family, and I would imagine that because that Andretti Global is, a racing powerhouse in itself, they've got so much history. That they will understand what the Williams Racing name is about, and maybe keep on that name. There's nothing wrong with them having like Andretti Williams. It's not like they can't have a name partnership
Yeah,
with
that's true.
Williams
That's true.
and
That's
keep
true.
that name on the car, right? It can still be an Andretti Williams partnership to keep that name going on as long as it keeps bringing and the cash doesn't run out. Because you would imagine someone like Mario Andretti being able to recognize what Frank Williams built and be able to honor that more than anyone else on this planet at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a very yeah.
I mean, which is why I asked, what more can we speculate about
Because,
this?
as you said, there were no other rumors about teams buying in, and even Dorrington's, like, there's no rumor from Dorrington Capital side. I'm sorry, that if they want to sell it or if they are just looking for the right leadership or whatever it is. So yeah, like whatever it is, hopefully they find some sort of solution before January, like in this sort of period, because the later it goes, the later the leadership structure goes, their 2023, like obviously their 23 is sacrificed, right? But the later it goes, it becomes worse as such.
It almost makes you wonder if like Claire Williams needs to like step back into the team and take over the operations as an employee basically of Darlington Capital. I'm not, obviously I don't think it's going to happen, but that seems to be like the best case scenario if Williams wants to survive whatever it is going through right now, right? But I think I think that's the end of the speculation for Williams for the moment, at least, until we hear more news.